Hey guys, this is Coach Heidi and welcome to Healthy for the Holidays. We are on day 4 of prep today. Today we're talking about meal planning, and this is probably one of the things that I find the most make it or break it when it comes to all of this. So I really do enjoy my meal planning. I know that the weeks when I do well at it, I succeed, and the weeks when I don't do well, I fail. Really simple model is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So let's figure out a way that we can all succeed. First of all, if you go to the to the files tab in here, you're going to see the meal list grocery plan. I believe that's the name of the document. Anyway, you want to download that and you want to print it out. And it's going to look like this. It's going to have day and meal, and then also a grocery list, which is really nice. So this is what I do pretty much every Sunday is what I try. And kind of in Beachbody land, I know that was really hard for me to adapt to that because Sunday's kind of my rest day. I take off, I don't work out, it's a family day. But it has become a little bit more of a habit now. But find what works for you. I know Coach Katie, she does hers like on Thursday, Friday. She gets hers all done so she can enjoy her weekend with her family before she enters the next week. So you got to do what works for you. But you'll see probably a lot of us talking about it on Saturday and Sunday. So what I tend to do, I wrote down some of my pointers here. I go through and I kind of decide, okay, so what are my snacks for the week going to be? Is it going to be, I'm a pretty protein-based snack person, so I'm into hard-boiled eggs and Greek yogurt with a little bit of peanut butter, or dipping apples in that, or vegetables with hummus is a big one, or just cut up vegetables, apple and peanut butter. So figure out what your snacks are. Figure out if you are doing Shakeology, this is where it feels so good to me to just go Shakeology and figure out my fruit, figure out my added oils, and I'm done. Like, that takes the thinking out of that pretty much. Maybe you have it for lunch. You'll figure that out. Dinner is where I go next, and I start to plan out kind of my go-to meals. So it's a habit in our family. We do pizza and salad every Friday night. So it's homemade pizza. It's not like we call Papa John's. It's homemade pizza. I get the crust from the dough from Trader Joe's and I make it. And we do lots of vegetables and it's just fun. I'm not a great cook. I'm a really simple cook. So if I can just make a healthy meal for our family, but it's something I don't have to think about and it becomes routine and it's also kind of fun, then it's a win-win. So we do homemade pizza and salad every Friday night. I do crock-pot chopped chicken salsa probably once a week. That's a really easy dump in your crock-pot frozen chicken breasts, a jar of salsa, maybe some beans, and let it cook all day, and you serve it with brown rice and maybe some vegetables. That's another really simple one we have at least every 2 weeks, if not every week. So I kind of go through and I decide what are those simple meals going to be. I probably do crock-pot meals twice a week, and I suggest you look for meals like that. Some of my go-to websites, I go on Pinterest and I search 21 Day Fix approved recipes. You'll get a million. There really are a lot of great resources on Pinterest, so if you're not on there, I suggest getting an account. Two other websites that come to my mind are Skinny Taste. I use her recipes a lot. And then, again, Coach Katie, I know she uses Budget Bites a lot, and that's Budget BYTES, Budget Bites. So I know she's found a lot of great things on there. One thing I do with Katie and another girlfriend, we get together once every couple of weeks, or we don't get together so much anymore, that's how it started, but we'll do a group meal prep. We'll each pick a couple of meals to make, and we'll multiply it times 3, buy all those ingredients, fix those dishes, and then swap them. And that's probably kind of too fast and unclear, but the bottom line is we prep. Each woman preps 2 meals, swaps them, and we leave from this event with 6 meals. And it has changed my life. I can go into a further description of that. I actually have a YouTube video I made of that, so I could post that in here. But that has been a game changer for me. So that's a really great idea. Let's see. breakfast for dinner, eggs, some greens in those eggs, maybe a little bit of cheese or a little bit of cottage cheese. For this, if you're just doing your first round of 21 Day Fix, I would suggest to keep it simple. The more simple, the better. And, even if you're grilling meat and then doing roasted veggies and having a whole grain, like whatever it is, figure out what works for your family. These meals do not need to be separate from what your children are eating. I sometimes do have to feed my children other things, but overall, this is just the way that people should eat to be healthy. And so it's nothing too crazy and wild. There's no deprivation. There shouldn't be deprivation in this. It really should be food that you're enjoying and you're figuring out how to eat the best ways and the right amounts. So again, print this out. This makes all the difference in the world. I struggle with my lunches. I'll be honest. If I don't give myself lunch ideas, I'm pretty much scurrying around. And I will say for meal prep, I make hard-boiled eggs every Sunday. And I do them in a really cool way. I do them in my oven and bake them for 350 for 15 minutes and then rotate them. I do them in a muffin tin and then bake them again for another 15 minutes. So it's 30 minutes. And I've had such better success with that than I have on the stove. So that is such an easy go-to. If you don't have time to make a salad, then have a couple hard-boiled eggs or a piece of lunch meat rolled up and some cut-up vegetables. It doesn't have to be fancy or difficult. I hope these tips have helped. We will talk a lot about meal planning. Typically every weekend people will say, okay, what's your plan? Share what your recipes are because we want to help each other. So I'm sorry this has gone on for almost 7 minutes. I hope you hung in with me and I hope you found this valuable. All right, guys, let's see those mini plans.